Welcome to this explainer. So, have you ever felt like you're just constantly running on a treadmill, chasing a version of yourself that's always just out of reach? Today, we're extracting the core lessons from session 10 of our source material, and we're going to deconstruct a pretty universal human struggle. It's that illusion that our true value somehow comes from outside of us. And more importantly, we're looking at how we can finally find that unshakable light within. Okay, let's dive right into this. Will you finally be someone once you get the money or the relationship? I want you to take a breath and really think about that for a second. I mean, how exhausting is it to constantly postpone your own sense of self-worth to some imaginary date in the future? We tell ourselves things like, well, if I just get that promotion, I'll walk differently. Or if I just get that perfect partner, I'll never feel lonely or unlovable ever again. But as our sources reveal, this is a dangerous, exhausting mirage. Section 1. The trap of external worth. Chasing a shadow that constantly moves. If you're currently struggling with feelings of inadequacy, honestly, you are so not alone. We often fall into this outside-in approach. That's where we expect external achievements, like wealth or a partner, to just rush in and fix our internal voids. But our sources reveal a much more empowering paradigm, which is the inside-out approach. Basically, this means cultivating unconditional self-worth internally first. Because think about it, you literally cannot be internally empty and expect external abundance to magically fill that void. The whole shebang has to start from within. So what does this trap actually look like in the real world? Well, it's constantly checking a partner's location, tracking them on your phone like they're a lost set of car keys, just because you're terrified of losing them. Or maybe it's financially self-sabotaging when you finally get a big break, simply because your subconscious identity is used to being average, and that new wealth, it feels like a threat to who you are. Or perhaps it's needing constant reassurance about your clothes, or getting crushing anxiety when someone else gets attention in a room. These really are just quirky personality traits. They are glaring, red flashing lights of low inner self-worth. If you expect an external achievement to fix a deeply rooted internal weakness, you will be chasing a shadow forever. Just let that sink in for a second. A shadow has no substance, right? You can run toward it your entire life, but you will never, ever catch it. External band-aids simply can't heal internal wounds. A brand new relationship just can't heal the part of you that feels fundamentally unlovable. Section 2. Similar always attracts similar, the universal mirror of your internal state. This is a fundamental universal law that explains exactly why the outside-in approach actively repels the very things you want. The universe doesn't give you what you want. It echoes exactly what you are. Notice how an internally unworthy and anxious state naturally pushes abundance away. Your external reality just becomes this series of fleeting successes, or worse, toxic relationships. And why? Well, because you can't be deeply insecure and attract a highly secure, confident partner. They just won't be drawn to that energy. But when your internal state is worthy and complete, you attract similar energy. That is when sustainable wealth and really secure relationships naturally start to flow right into your life. The absolutely crucial point here is captured in this staggering number, 90%. To put that into perspective, according to the analytical breakdown in session 10 of our sources, an overwhelming 90% of our hidden mental blocks, our invisible breaks, and our self-sabotaging behaviors, they're rooted entirely in this subconscious feeling of unworthiness. It is literally the mother of almost all other limiting beliefs. Section 3. Wearing shoes over carpeting earth. A fundamental shift in controlling your comfort. So, how do we actually stop this exhausting cycle? Well, I absolutely love this quote from the source material. Don't try to carpet the entire world. Just wear shoes. I mean, think about how absurd it would be if just because your bare feet hurt when you walked outside, you demanded that someone lay down soft carpet over the entire earth. It's impossible. And yet, that is exactly what we do emotionally when we lack self-worth. Carpeting the earth means trying to force your partner to text you exactly when you want, or trying to control your coworkers' opinions of you, or manipulating situations so you just never feel triggered. It's totally exhausting, and frankly, it never works. Wearing shoes, on the other hand, means building your own emotional resilience. It means accepting your inherent worth from within. When you're wearing shoes, you don't really care if the ground is rocky or smooth. You can walk safely anywhere, completely liberated from trying to micromanage the universe. Section 4. Belief in the dark. Forging your light when there is no evidence. Now, you might be wondering, how do you actually put those shoes on when your outside world hasn't even changed yet? Well, here is the step-by-step process. Step 1. Sit in the absolute dark. You kind of have to learn to accept your current reality without reaching for a phone call, a compliment, or buying something just to make yourself feel better. Step 2. Ignite the inner light. You literally must look in the mirror and declare your worth internally, even when there is zero external evidence. The sources actually point out that this is the most glorious moment, when no one is clapping for you, no one is holding your hand, but you stand firm and say, I am inherently valuable. And step 3, watch the world respond. If you can hold that internal frequency, the external universe literally has no choice but to eventually rearrange itself to match your new baseline of worth. To really make this work, we have to understand what true self-worth actually is. It's a pure, infinite feeling of value that exists completely independently of your bank account, your relationship status, your appearance, or, for sure, the opinions of others. And it's absolutely crucial to understand that this is not about arrogance or ego. Arrogance is just comparing yourself to others to feel superior. True self-worth, that's a quiet, unshakable peace where comparison doesn't even exist. Section 5. Discovering infinite inner worth, the divine source of your true value. If our worth doesn't come from our jobs, or our faces, or our bank accounts, where exactly does it come from? Well, the sources provide a profoundly beautiful answer. Your true self-worth is infinite because it originates from the divine presence within you, not from your external accomplishments. I want you to think about that deeply for a second. If the very spirit of creation, of the divine, resides within you, it is literally impossible for you to be inherently weak, unworthy, or broken. You were born with a pure, untainted sense of worth. It's really just time to wake up and remember it. So let's look at how we reclaim this light based on everything we've covered today. First off, you absolutely must stop negotiating your value based on others' reactions. Their opinions, totally out of your control. Second, and actually this is so important, forgive yourself for the times you begged for external validation. We have all done it. Just let it go. Third, embrace the quiet power of knowing you are already complete. And finally, understand that sustainable wealth and deep love aren't things you chase. They are just natural byproducts of this new inner peace. I want to leave you with this final lingering thought. Will you continue to beg the world to tell you who you are? Or will you finally claim the infinite worth already resting inside you? The choice is entirely yours. You don't need to change the world. You just need to put on your shoes. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I truly hope this sparks a beautiful shift in how you see yourself.